What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Drip Strick College Football Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jacob, and I have my co-host with me, Austin. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing, guys? I'm
Um,
doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm a little tired.
It's good. Me too.
First off, we want to apologize for missing last week's episodes. And it was probably the worst week to miss it. There were so many good games that went on, a lot of upsets. Um,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we're
honestly.
going to talk about a few of those games later on in the podcast. And this episode, we're just going to go over the top 25. We're going to go over the past weekend of college football, which there wasn't much that happened. But yeah, we're just going to go right into it, starting off with number 14 Syracuse at number 5 Clemson. Before this game, I predicted Syracuse to win this game, and they played really good. They played some really good football. Going into halftime, they were winning 21 to 10, and I was like, they're actually going to pull this off. I was really thinking they were going to pull this off, but in the end, they didn't. Final score was 27 to 21. Uh, and the crazy part about this game is, after the game was over, the Clemson fans rushed the field.
Yeah,
Um,
it's so weird.
I don't understand that. You were supposed to win this game, um,
Yeah.
but even though Syracuse won, they've proved to me that they're a really good football team. Garrett Schrader
Yeah.
obviously he's a really good runner, and their running back, I think his name's like Sean Tucker.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had a really good game too. Their offense played good. Their defense tried, but overall Syracuse, I think they're real contenders in the ACC. Um, yeah, I really like how Syracuse is looking so far. Clemson, not so much. DJ Uyunglele did not have a good game. He had two interceptions. He actually got benched for the
Yeah, that's
freshman
true.
quarterback. Forgot his name, but he came in and didn't really do much. They really ran the ball when he was in. But the Syracuse
Yeah.
offense scored 0 points in the second half, and that's
Dang.
really what determined the outcome of this game.
Yeah. Dude, it was a really of a heck of a
It
game.
really
Like
was.
I picked Clemson to win just because I knew of the Drip Strick
No.
podcast curse. I knew of the curse. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. And so I picked Clemson to win, but dude, it was a heck of a game. Syracuse. Man, I watched a lot of the second half. Syracuse fought and they fought hard and they made DJ look really bad. DJ's been hot the past 4 or 5 weeks. Really ever since the Wake Forest game, he got benched for Cade Klubnik, I believe that's how you say
Yeah,
his name.
yeah,
But yeah, he came in. I mean, he's a little spark. He's just a true freshman, so I mean, hopefully that doesn't mess up his confidence. But I mean, dude, their home winning streak keeps. I think they're at like 38 games or
yeah.
something
It's
crazy
some
like that.
absurd number.
I mean, that's insane. So I mean, shout out to Clemson for that. But yeah, dude, Syracuse was legit this year, and they have a good enough defense to win those big games. You know, they can keep up with Clemson, and make DJ look very bad. But yeah, Sean Tucker got going, Garrett Schrader got going early, and dude, they look like a legit team. Like they look like a
Yeah,
legit team. They're not just some fluke who's beaten a bunch of bad teams but still been undefeated. Like they look like a legit good team, and I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do for the rest of the year. Because I mean, man, they really surprised me keeping up with Clemson like this, and they almost pulled off the upset. I wanted them to so bad. I was cheering them on, but man, it was a fun game to watch for sure.
it sure was. Do you follow Sean Tucker on Twitter?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, so after every single game, so far this year, he makes one long tweet, and it's like, on Saturday we played Clemson. I was pleased with my performance, but not pleased with the outcome. I will continue to
Mm.
get better, blah, 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 and he'll list his stats. And he'll do that for every single game, either saying he's pleased with his performance or he's not pleased with his performance. And
Okay,
it's
that's cool.
it's very entertaining, that's for sure. Um,
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
we're going straight to Iowa at Ohio State, and in the first quarter, I was actually I was thinking Iowa could maybe do something here, but C.J. Stroud said nope. Ohio State won this game 54 to 10, but the game started off with an Ohio State field goal, and then um, C.J. Stroud fumbled the ball, and it got returned for a touchdown. And then after that, C.J. Stroud said, "Not happening again." He threw 4 touchdown passes. Uh,
Mm.
Spencer Petras, think that's how you say his name. We've been talking about him all season. He's had yet another horrible game, and then
Trash.
the backup they benched him, and then they put in the backup quarterback. I think he threw an interception on his first throw, and then he might have fumbled or something. But look, man, Iowa, y'all better be trying to recruit a quarterback because Spencer Petras, garbage. Y'all's backup is garbage. Y'all need to fire y'all's quarterbacks coach, y'all offensive coordinator, just everything to do with the offensive side of the ball. Just fire them all. Um, I think statistically they're the worst offense in the country. They had 6 turnovers against Ohio State. I mean that's 6 turnovers.
Jeez.
You can't win I don't care how if you score a lot of touchdowns. If you have 6 turnovers, you're not going to win a football game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, dude. I was just they're not good. I didn't think Ohio State was going to score 54 on them though.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that coming just because Iowa's defense is so legit. Like, I love how, like, their scheme and everything they do there. But, I mean, man, C.J. Stroud, once again, just been unbelievable this season. Definitely a Heisman candidate. He has been absolutely unbelievable this season. And then Iowa's offense, yeah, like, they can't keep it going.
No.
They need to recruit a quarterback this year, play him every game next year. I don't care if he's bad. Just give him the reps just so he could be decent, like sometime in the future, because they need a quarterback so freaking bad. Obviously, they don't have the answer this year, but I mean, look into next year. Hopefully they get some. Hopefully they like keep having a good defense. I think they will.
Yeah.
Just because like the defensive coordinator and everything. But yeah, dude. Ohio State's offense looks very very good because they did that. They scored 54 on a really good Iowa defense. I mean. But yeah, everybody knew that I was going to, and Ohio State was going to win the game, no doubt. But I mean, 54 points is really good for Ohio State.
Yeah. I was shocked. I did not think Ohio State was going to score that many points.
Yeah, they're crazy.
C.J. Stroud definitely up there on the Heisman watch list. But next we're going to a game that really surprised me. We're going to number 7 Ole Miss at LSU. This I know you're excited to talk about this one. This was a Jaden Daniels masterclass.
Yeah.
At halftime, the score was 20-17. The final score was 45-20. LSU won this game. Jaden Daniels had the best career game so far. He went 21 for 28, 248 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, and now listen to this. 23 carries for him. 23 carries. 121 yards, 3 touchdown runs.
Shoot.
I mean, dark horse Heisman candidate right there.
On the money.
Jackson Dart didn't really have a great day. Threw a pick, 19 for 34, 283 yards. I mean, Ole Miss did not score a single point in that second half. I mean, their offense just died. They just could not. They just lost momentum and just couldn't get it back. And LSU just kept punching away. LSU, they're a dangerous team right now. I can't lie. They're a dangerous team. They're on a hot streak. After they lost to Florida State week 1, I did not think that they were going to do really anything this year. I was already counting them out. But they are looking really good. So keep an eye on that Alabama LSU game in a couple weeks, or that might be next. No, 2 weeks I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah,
dude. I'm just want to say I love the outcome of this game.
Of course.
I was very, very excited to hear the outcome of this game. I watched some of it. But really, all I could watch is just Ole Miss absolutely dropping the ball. I mean, that's just what they did. They dropped the ball in this game, and they should have beat the brakes off LSU. But I did say this year that LSU was underrated. Like, everybody was like, man, they counted them out so quick. They're like, man, people love talking about Brian Kelly and how bad he is. But I'm telling you right now, LSU's an underrated team. They got guys. They got players. They got a decent quarterback and Jaden Daniels. They can make plays, and they beat number 7 Ole Miss. I mean, undefeated Ole Miss,
Yeah.
who said they were gonna be so freaking good. LSU whooped them by 25 points in Death Valley, and anything can go in Death Valley. I mean, I think it was like 11. Yeah, it was an 11 o'clock game. I think maybe 2:30. I don't. Yeah, I think 2:30. But I mean, and still, Death Valley was on it, and yeah, they beat the Rebels. And if I'm Ole Miss, I'm not feeling too good. Not feeling too good.
All right, so we're going to number 17, Kansas State at TCU. Adrian Martinez did not play in this game. Kansas State starting quarterback. Instead, it was Mr. Howard. He went 13 for 20, 225 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Not a bad debut game, really not.
Yeah, yeah, he played good.
But he got outplayed by the GOAT, Max Duggan, the TCU quarterback. Now TCU, they are looking really good this year. They've really surprised me, and I don't think anyone saw this coming. They're 7-0 on a hot streak. They beat Kansas. They beat Oklahoma. They beat Kansas State. On a hot streak. They're a dangerous team, man. Kansas State scored 21 points in the second quarter, and that was the last points they would score all game. They did not score a single point
Dang.
in the second half. TCU, really good team, man. And this just shows that Kansas State. I bet if Kansas State had Adrian Martinez in this game, it would be a different story.
Yeah, possibly.
But they didn't. But yeah, TCU, very good team. If your favorite team's playing them upcoming in the schedule, you better watch out, not count them out.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, they beat a really good Kansas State team. I like this Kansas State team a lot. I mean, they still have Deuce Vaughn, and Deuce Vaughn did his thing, but I mean, dude, Max Duggan is legit. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Like, he's legit. He's beating these teams. I mean, and TCU, I mean, they're explosive. I mean, they got great wide receivers. I don't know if they have a good running back or not, but I mean, they're an explosive offensive team. They've gotten a lot of really just impressive games so far this year, so far this season, where not a lot of people thought they were going to be good. Definitely wouldn't have told me. I would not pick them a top 10 team, but now they're 7-0, and they're rolling through, folks, and they're absolutely balling. Max Duggan, he's come out of his shell completely this year. He's looked great all year, and man, I'm feeling good. Max Duggan is an absolute baller. I'm feeling great if I'm a TCU fan because they beat a good Kansas State team for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So we're going to talk about a game that very, very sad about this outcome for many different reasons. We're talking about number 9 UCLA at number 10 Oregon. Oregon just really dominated this whole game. Bo Nix looked like the quarterback that we thought he was in 2019 as a freshman before he played a game at Auburn. His deep ball is so much better now at Oregon. He's staying in the pocket. He's not leaving the pocket too early or getting these happy feet that he had at Auburn. He's just looking like a completely different quarterback than he was at Auburn. He had his best career game against a really good UCLA team. He had 5 touchdown passes, which is a career high for him. Now UCLA. UCLA is my favorite Pac-12 team. I love them. But they just couldn't get the job done. I mean, they just didn't really they didn't play a good game. They really couldn't get anything started on offense. A lot of field goals. Really disappointed this UCLA team. But Oregon looking a lot better than they did in week 1. Week 1 when they played Georgia, I was counting them out. I was like, they are trash. Bo Nix is the same guy we've seen for the past 3 seasons. It's going to be a rough season to be an Oregon Duck, but they've really turned it around. They made things a lot more simpler for Bo Nix, and he's looking really good so far this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you and I both picked UCLA to win.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like, I thought UCLA was just a better team. I really did. I mean, in all categories. And, man, Oregon proved us wrong. I mean, that was a heck of a game, number 9 versus number 10. And DTR still played good. I mean, he had 262 yards passing with 2 touchdowns and a pick. He only ran for 38 yards, but yeah, dude, Bo Nix was on the money with five passing touchdowns. That's crazy. That's really good for Bo Nix. I'm glad he's got his stride this season because yeah, like after week 1, I was like, man, Dan Lanning might have not have been a great hire for Oregon, but it's looking like a good hire. I mean, I was very surprised by this game because I probably felt like 80% sure that UCLA was going to come out with the W, but I was wrong. Oregon looked really good. I mean, and now they're a top 10 team, and I think they only have one loss, and it was the Georgia game. So
Yeah.
good for them, and man, they're good. They really picked it up.
Yeah, I'd right now I'd have Oregon as the Pac-12 championship winners right now over USC.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Next, we can talk about this game if you want, or we can skip it. Number 24 Mississippi State at number 6 Alabama. Final score was 30-6.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it.
Will Rogers
I'm
had
good. I'm good.
the just the air raid just didn't work against Alabama for the second year in a row. 60 pass attempts for Will Rogers. He went 30 for 60, 231 yards. No interceptions from him. Just Alabama being Alabama. They lost against Tennessee last week, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Um, had their bounce
Yeah.
back game. There was really nothing good going for Mississippi State until the final touchdown they scored with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about this game.
Yeah, I was just for the people listening at home or in the car, wherever you're listening. I was in attendance for the game. I was in attendance for the game, and I didn't like anything I saw from our offense. I mean, Mike Leach is supposed to be an offensive genius, offensive guru, whatever you want to call him. And this dude, for 3 straight years, has been non-existent against Alabama. I mean, it wasn't as bad as last year. Our defense came to play. I mean, if we didn't like keep missing it on fourth down conversions, they might not have gotten. Oh, they definitely wouldn't have got 30 points. They might have not cracked 20 points. Because I mean, I think 14 of those points came on when they like started having the ball like the 25. You know, like they were
Oh
already
yeah.
like almost at
Oh
the
yeah.
end zone, just because we kept going for it. Which I like keep going for it. It's just our offense could not freaking do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, literally do anything. And yeah, we had 10 penalties. I believe Alabama had 2, and one was like on the second to the last play of the game. So we didn't play a clean game at all, and our offense did not come to play. I really do. I honestly feel pretty good about our defense. We had a few bad plays, but I mean, a fun fact, we actually had more yards than Alabama,
Really.
and we held Alabama to 29 rushing yards, to only 29 rushing yards. So I'm
That's
really
pretty
happy
good.
with our defense. It's just our offense could not get in the end zone, and that just man, that really hurt. That really hurt. But our defense played well. Just our offense absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch.
Yeah. Y'all had them to a 3-and-out on their first drive, and I was like, okay,
Hmm.
okay, let's see what happens. And
Yeah.
then it all just went bad. Next up, we're talking about number 20 Texas at number 11 Oklahoma State. I believe Oklahoma State was coming off a loss from last week. Texas, I think this is Quinn Ewers' second game back from his injury. I believe so. Not sure.
I think so.
He did not have a good game. He had 3 interceptions. But to be fair, one of those interceptions should have been caught by the receiver. Bounced off his hands right into the hands of an Oklahoma State defender. Bijan Robinson, 24 carries, 140 yards, and a touchdown. Had a good game. Spencer Sanders had a decent game. 391 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns and a pick. Oklahoma State they've looked really good so far this year. Definitely better than previous years. That's for sure. A lot of people are speculating. I don't know why they're even saying this, but a lot of people are saying that Mike Gundy will leave Oklahoma State for Auburn. I just think that's absolute bonkers.
Bro, who told you that, dude?
I'm not even joking.
Who said
I was
that?
listening to this radio show. I think it's called it's called The Morning After or something on Jocks 90, whatever the heck they are. I was listening to their show, and some guy brought up Mike Gundy, and they were like, "Oh
Dude.
my gosh, you're so right. He's
No.
definitely." I was like, "No, dude. He played at Oklahoma State. He's been the coach there for forever. There's no shot he would leave for Auburn.
Yeah, he's not
The
leaving there.
only like semi good point they brought up for it was because that you could only go so far at Oklahoma State with recruiting and stuff.
Yeah,
You can go a lot more farther at Auburn with recruiting and stuff, but that was the only point they had. I mean, there's no shot he leaves.
yeah, I don't think so
Yeah.
at all, at all.
Um.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I got to talk about the game too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah, it's crazy. I didn't expect. Well, I expected Oklahoma State to win, but
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect Quinn Ewers to play like this. I mean, Quinn really struggled, and I hate to see it because he's been hot literally all year. I mean, he's been doing his thing all year. So, well, like all year that he's been healthy. So, I mean, it really sucks to see him have a slump game. But everybody has this game, especially he's a young guy. He hadn't had a whole lot of starts. He's going to have these games. So, I mean, it just happened to be against a very good team. But that was a great game. Oklahoma State had a great game.
Yeah.
Spencer Sanders, he did his thing. But yeah, Oklahoma State, that was a statement win for them. That's going to help them literally in everything because I thought Texas was a top 10 team with Quinn Ewers healthy.
Oh yeah.
And Oklahoma State beat them. So I mean that was a very impressive win, and that was a great win for them.
For sure. We're gonna talk about a game, and this team has really just broken my heart this year. Kansas at Baylor. Kansas, I think this is their third loss in a row. It just hurts, man. They fell off. They fell off so hard. To be fair, though, their starting quarterback, he's hurt. He's gonna be out for a while. But Baylor, they looked really good this game. They scored 28 points in the first half. Second half, their offense struggled, only scoring one touchdown, and that was in the fourth quarter. But Kansas, man, the whole country really had so much hope that Kansas would do good, and y'all just falling off, man. It hurts.
Yeah, I mean, really nobody to blame other than the Drip Strick podcast. Honestly, we wanted to rank them, and then they got ranked,
victim.
and then they lost. Now they've lost 3 games straight. I mean, they're definitely a victim of the Drip Strick podcast curse. And I'm sorry, Kansas, for everything. But hopefully y'all get y'all's quarterback soon. But yeah, dude, that really sucks for Kansas, and I'm really sorry for what we did to you. I'm very sorry.
All right, I think this is the last game that I have to recap.
All right.
There wasn't really a lot of games that were
There really
any
wasn't.
good this week. So we're talking about Pittsburgh at Louisville. Only talking about this because of Keaton Slovis. I was going to talk about West Virginia and JT Daniels, because
Man, yeah,
that's a dumpster fire over there. JT Daniels threw 3 interceptions in their game.
He's struggling.
But Louisville won this game 24-10. Keaton Slovis threw 2 interceptions, 158 passing yards. Pittsburgh's really strong point so far this year has been their rushing attack. Malik Cunningham has really not been the quarterback that we all thought he would be this year. He had a really good season last year, and people were comparing him to like Lamar Jackson. And he's really just not put up great numbers. He hadn't played good. Louisville is currently 4-3, and so Pittsburgh's also 4-3. But that's really all I have to say about this game.
Slovis is in a slump. Slovis. Trademark Austin Tucker just came over there.
Trademark it.
But but I mean, yeah, Slovis has not looked good at all. At all. He's been struggling, and JT Daniels has been struggling, and it's very, very weird for them too. It's very weird, but yeah, I thought Pitt was going to be very good. I think I'm pretty sure they started this season ranked number 17 in the country. And now, I mean, they're just, man, they're bad. I thought Slovis was going to be a baller too, but man, they're struggling. They're struggling bad.
Yeah. West Virginia, Pittsburgh, they had that really good, I think it was a week 0 game. Really good week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
week
was.
0 game. Everyone had
high
hopes for both teams, and ever since then, both teams have really just not played good at all. But now we're just gonna go over the top 25, give our thoughts about the rankings and if we have different opinions about the current top 25. So we're gonna start from number 25. We got South Carolina, which I think is fair. South Carolina, they're on a roll right now. They beat who is it? They beat.
They beat A&M.
Yeah, they beat Texas A&M. By the way, dumpster
A&M
fire.
sucks.
Dumpster fire. If I could describe Texas A&M in what is that? Yeah, 2 words: dumpster fire.
Just burn
Just
it down.
burn the university down.
Burn it to the ground.
Just burn it all down.
Burned it to the ground. It's bad.
They're in a really bad situation too because Jimbo Fisher, his buyout's like $95 million. I mean that is
so
that is too
they're
expensive.
stuck.
So they're stuck with him. And guess what just happened? I just saw this. Three of their top players that they recruited last year from their number 1 recruiting class. All of them were 5 stars, I believe. 3 of them have been suspended. I think they were doing like
indefinitely.
Yeah, they were doing like marijuana in the locker room after the loss.
Yes. And now, I mean, dude, it's
just horrible.
Man, that sucks. I didn't know they were all 3 from the good draft class.
Yeah, they were all
nuts.
freshmen.
That's crazy.
They were like the top players from that recruiting class too.
Man.
Texas
Dang it,
A&M
A&M.
had high hopes, man. I mean, that number 1 recruiting class, everyone thought y'all were gonna be so good, and now you're so bad.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, it really is rough. It feels like Jimbo Fisher has really just lost control of this team.
Yeah. I bet some guys will transfer out too. They're like,
yeah.
I'm not playing for
they're
this
gonna
dude.
lose a lot of players to the transfer portal this year. I bet.
Yeah, I bet.
Number 24, NC State. Number 23, Tulane. Number 22, Kansas State. Number 21, North Carolina. Really, I think North Carolina should be a little higher, in my personal opinion. Drake May is having a great year so far as the North Carolina starting quarterback.
Yeah.
North Carolina's.
Hey, they're 6-1.
Yeah, they're 6-1 and they're ranked 21 right now.
Yeah, that's wrong.
They should be higher, in my opinion. Cincinnati, 6-1 right now too.
They're struggling, dude. Every game they win is just like they almost lose.
It's a struggle
every
win.
Game. Luke Fickle,
Every
man.
game's a struggle
What
win
a guy.
for Cincinnati. Number 19 is Kentucky. Look, man, people are still hyping up this Kentucky team, and I don't know why. People are saying
So
Will
mid.
Levis top 5 draft pick, and they're still saying that. It's like what? What? We're going into week 9, I think. Yeah, we're going into week 9, and people are still saying Will Levis is a top 5 draft pick. You cannot tell me we're gonna do this again, but you could not tell me Will Levis is better than Bryce Young. You cannot tell me he's better than C.J. Stroud. You cannot tell me he's better than like Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You cannot tell me he's better than Bo Nix. Like let's just stop. Let's stop the Will Levis hype, please, man.
I agree. I agree.
Number 18, LSU. I think they should be a little higher. Honestly, I think they're better than teams like Illinois, Penn State, blah blah blah. Number 17, Illinois. Number 16, Syracuse. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, you lose a game, you kind of have to drop back, but I think that's fair. Number 15 is Ole Miss. They drop back
way too high.
They dropped back
Yeah,
8
top
spots. They dropped down 8 spots. Number 14 is Utah, which they deserve.
Yeah.
I think that's a good ranking for them. They beat USC last week. Big win for that program. Penn State, dude, just unranked Penn State. Honestly, they got smothered. They got smothered by Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not pretty.
Number 12 is UCLA. Number 11 is Wake Forest. I think that's a good ranking for Wake Forest.
That's crazy. They're
USC
back in the top 10.
USC is number 10, man.
Or 11.
Get USC out of the top 10.
What?
No, you lose to Utah.
No.
If you lose to Utah, get them out of here.
No, Utah's a good team. Cam Rising had a great game. I don't want to hear it. USC's a good team. USC is a top 10 team.
Are you telling me USC's better than Wake Forest?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
bro.
I am.
All right,
I'm telling you that right now.
I need to see a USC Wake Forest matchup. Wake Forest is scoring like
We'll show
60 on them. 60-0 final score.
No, they would not.
60-0
No, they would not.
final score.
USC would fool it. And I like Wake Forest. Don't make me hate on Wake Forest. I love Sam Hartman, but I'm just saying. USC is a top. Do not tell me USC is not a top 10 team. You just can't do it. They're better than Oregon. They're about to show that they are better than Oregon.
They're not better than Oregon, bro.
Yes, they are.
No.
Yes, they are. You're tripping.
Frauds.
You're tripping.
USC is frauds. They're
Oh, you're
frauds.
tripping. You'll see.
All
Trust
right, all
me.
right,
You'll
all right,
see.
bro. I'll see. I'll see. Uh, number 9 is Oklahoma State. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Number 8 is Oregon. Number 7 is TCU.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's a good ranking. Number 6, Alabama.
Mhm.
I think that's fair. Number 5, Clemson. No, just I don't think they should be number 5. I'm be honest. You cannot tell me Clemson is the number 5 team in the country right now. You have a struggle win against Syracuse. I just don't think they should be number 5, honestly.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. I mean,
we'll have to.
they haven't lost a game yet. They've had a top 10 win against NC State. They beat Wake Forest, who you think's a top 10 team. I think they should be a top 10 team. I
I
mean,
mean,
maybe not number 5,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. I mean, they're a
but
top 10
yeah.
team. Just I don't think they're number 5.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid. Like, would you put Alabama over them?
Yeah, I would put Alabama over them.
Okay, yeah, that's respectable.
That
I probably would
that
too.
that pains me to say that.
Yeah.
Michigan's number 4. I think that's fair. Um,
I did too.
Michigan's a really good
Did look
team. They
good.
smothered Penn State. Proved that they're a good team.
Yeah.
Tennessee's number 3. I think they really should be number 2 or number 1. Honestly, they're the most proven team on this list. Really, especially with that win over Alabama. I think they're the best team in the country.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting. I'd probably put them at 2.
I would put them over
I'd put
Ohio State. Really.
I'd put Ohio State number 1.
What?
I don't know, dude. Georgia has not shown me enough. I like Georgia. I think Georgia's a very good, but they haven't shown me anything
Do you think
this
you think
season
Tennessee's better than
other than
Georgia?
Oregon. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just saying, right as of
Yeah.
right now, I'd put Georgia number 3 because I mean, it's not about it's just who's played better so far. And Tennessee's beaten Alabama, and they do play. Tennessee and Georgia play.
Yeah,
I don't know who will win that game. I'm just
that's
saying.
gonna be a really
Right
good game.
now, I got Tennessee. I mean, I got Tennessee over Georgia, no doubt,
Yeah. Okay.
no doubt.
Whoever wins that game is undoubtedly the number 1 team in the country, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Number
Yeah.
2, Ohio State. Number 1, Georgia. I'm not really sold on Georgia. I'll be honest. I'll have to agree with
Mm-mm.
you there. But we'll have to see what happens in that Tennessee Georgia matchup.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype.
Speaking of Tennessee,
I think that's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
yeah, it's in a couple of weeks actually.
Yeah, that's gonna be hype.
So speaking of Tennessee, we're gonna talk about that Alabama Tennessee game. It was all that everyone was talking about last week.
Oh my gosh, yes,
um,
dude. Everybody
Hendon,
was just moaning
I
and
know,
groaning.
man, and it brought me lots of joy. Alabama fans always doing what they normally do and complaining about the refs online.
True.
But final score was 52-49. It's the first time in like 15 years, I think, or something like that, that Tennessee's beaten Alabama. But this is a Hendon Hooker masterclass. This really made Hendon Hooker's draft stock skyrocket. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was watching this game, I remember there was like a miscommunication on a handoff, on a Tennessee handoff. It was fumbled, scored for a touchdown. I was like, "This is it, man! Alabama wins this game." Nope, wrong. Alabama doing what Alabama does best and missing a field goal that would have tied this game or won the game or whatever. Missed
Yeah.
it. And then Tennessee gets the opportunity to kick a field goal in the very end, gets it, end of the game. Fans stare down the goalpost, carry it down the University of Tennessee strip or whatever, then throw it into the Tennessee River.
It was crazy.
Hendon Hooker
Crazy.
went 21 for 30, 385 passing yards, 5 touchdown passes, and an interception. For sure, Alabama's best offensive performer. Honestly, it's tied between Jahmyr Gibbs, who had 24 carries and 103 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and Bryce Young. Bryce Young went 35 for 52, 455 passing yards and 2 touchdown passes. But honestly, I would rank this like if this was NCAA 14, bro. This would the that thing where it says like game rank number one or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It'd be
yeah.
number one, man. This has been the best game so far this season. I mean, this was a fantastic game to watch. I was
Yeah.
literally, I'm not even a Tennessee or an Alabama fan. I was on the edge of my seat this entire game, um, and
Yeah. It was
it
crazy.
really was, man. And it just it was a really good thing for college football that this game happened.
Yeah, 100%, dude. It was a crazy, crazy game. We needed that. Hendon Hooker put himself in the Heisman conversation. He put himself at 1 or 2. You can be the judge of
Yeah,
that. But I mean, dude, he played a heck of a game. Will Reichert missed a field goal, and then they gave Hendon Hooker time to drive down the field. They drive down the field and hit the game-winning field goal. I mean, that's just, man, it was nuts. It was a fantastic game. Like, zero defense was played. Alabama's offense played great. Bryce Young played great. But yeah, man, it was hard loss for Alabama. But dude, you cannot be that sad if you're an Alabama fan. I mean, come on. I think Tennessee is a fantastic, fantastic team. And but yeah, they just, man, Tennessee came to play in Tennessee too, in Knoxville. It was so hype. It was so hype, and I was glad to witness that game. That was crazy.
yeah. I was very glad to witness that game. And I believe that is all I have for this episode. Do you have anything
That
else?
is that is all I have too, my friend. All I got.
Awesome. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll drop this episode sometime this week during the week. It won't be the weekend.
For sure, for sure. And
if you got any suggestions or whatever, leave it down in the comments or DM us on Instagram or Twitter. If you want to be a special guest, DM us on Instagram or Twitter. And
mhm.
that's all I got.
Oh yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means the world to us. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us that you've made it this far in the video. And thank y'all guys so much for really everything y'all do. Keep supporting the podcast. We're gonna keep grinding out for y'all. And thank y'all so much. And Texas A&M, burn it to the ground. Thank you.